Florida, growing manufacturing in the Sunshine State. I'm here with Bill Daubmann of My Shower Door, D3 Glass. Really looking forward to this conversation today. So Bill, how about you introduce yourself and tell us how it all started?
Sure. Thanks for having me, Pavel.
Absolutely.
So my name's Bill Daubmann from, as you can see, D3 Glass. But D3 Glass was an offshoot of My Shower Door. So My Shower Door sells and installs heavy glass frameless shower doors. And when we started our business after we moved down from Massachusetts, I was in search of a good manufacturer of the glass.
When was it? When did you move out of Massachusetts?
So we moved in, I sold the business up there at the end of 2002 and moved here and we opened Naples September 2003.
Got it. Yep.
So from 2003, we used whatever manufacturer we could find to supply us our fabricated glass. And I went through many, many suppliers, and we ended up using one called Coral Industries out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And I like to say they were the best of the worst. And the reason I say that is the glass industry notoriously does not have high standards for manufacturing.
Is it just in U.S. or you think it's everywhere?
It's pretty much everywhere except Asia. Asia, between Japan and China, they have extremely good standards.
Even Europe? Because I heard Europe is pretty good in glass.
No, not so much Europe. Asia is like top notch. Now, I haven't toured any of the German or French manufacturing facilities. I have gone to Italy, and Italy, the techs that come here to work on our machines from Italy say that ours is like the gold standard.
Wow.
Not only cleanliness, organization-wise, keeping the machines up, they rate it on bathrooms, and our bathrooms are spotless. That's a big deal to these guys that travel all the time. So they love coming here to do service work. So anyhow, D3 became an offshoot of My Shower Door because we were buying glass from Tuscaloosa and we could only get our deliveries once a week. And God forbid something happened to it. Scratches, chips, mistakes.
So lots of lost time, I suspect.
Yeah, it's always. But back then in 2003, the building wasn't anywhere near what it is now in Southwest Florida. This was really an agricultural, tourist, and fishing area.
Changed a lot.
And only since 2002, 2003, the building boom started in Southwest Florida. So we knew without too long that we were going to have to start manufacturing our own glass if we needed the reliability of having the glass on time, have better control of quality, and also have a better control of price because now you're the manufacturer.
That's right.
So I call that the trifecta in business. If you can control quality, time, and expense, you've got the trifecta.
Cost,
Most companies can't do that. They have to outsource one or two of the three parts of that triangle.
That's right. It's a standard of project management, right? I think they call it the iron triangle or something like that.
See? So we call it the triangle of business, that if you can control as much of that triangle, you're in a better strategic position.
It's your competitive advantage, really, right?
Oh, it's a huge advantage. What was happening is if we only got a truck once a week from our supplier and something was wrong, we have to delay our installation. On tempered glass, you can't fix it in the field. You can't shave it down, drill a hole in it. There's things you just can't do.
You got to wait
for the
next delivery.
So as the building was going on, builders couldn't wait. Now, builders are notoriously behind on their timelines.
Of course.
You don't know how many days we're out there installing glass and they're over at the closing table with the customer trying to close. So we're in there, the carpet guys, the flooring guys, the landscapers, the pavers. We're all on the day of closing trying to get this thing done. So God forbid something goes wrong, now you delay it. And everybody gets upset. Well, when you have your own manufacturing, if I had to, I could turn a piece of glass around in less than an hour.
Wow.
So we could run it through the factory. Now, it would mess up the process,
of course,
but it would get us out of a jam.
Yep.
So my son Doug started touring other glass manufacturers in the country and got a good feel of what machinery we needed, what type of employees we needed to run that machinery, what type of capital we needed to have in order to invest in that, and what type of learning curve there was so that we could actually do our own manufacturing. So in 2010, we bought a building, only a 10,000 square foot building, about 1.5 miles away from here. And we were starting the manufacturing with one cutting table, one polishing machine, and one tempering oven. The holes were being drilled, either they were hand drilled holes, or we bought a very inexpensive CNC machine. That got us going. And our business continued to grow to the point where we said we need to do something. So we built this state-of-the-art glass manufacturing facility. We bought the property in 2017. By the time it was built and we got our permits and moved in, it was the July 4th weekend, 2019. So we're coming up on our 6-year anniversary in this building. But we've now got 60,000 square feet. We've expanded from, back then it was only 12 employees to start that manufacturing, and now company-wide we have 195 employees.
Wow.
So that's the amount of growth that we've experienced over the years.
I like how it was July 4th too, right?
Oh, gosh. We've done so much. It's a family business. D3 is, our last name is Daubmann. It's myself and my 2 sons, so that's where the name came from.
Okay. I actually had no idea.
Yeah.
Now, that makes sense.
Now it makes sense. We originally tried for the domain name of 3D glass, but the people that made those lenses when you go to movies already had that. So we went with D3 and it worked out well.
I actually like D3 better.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
You probably back then you didn't know. You didn't think about it this way.
Didn't know.
Yeah.
You know, even with my shower door, we had to go through a name change. When I first started, I was a license holder, so it wasn't a franchise. It was a license holder for a company called Mr. Shower Door, based out of Norwalk, Connecticut. And I was their first licensee. A license is almost like a franchise, not exactly the same. And when we started our manufacturing, they came to us and said, we're no longer going to be renewing anybody's license. He had 7 of them. And we all had to go through a name change. And man, as a family and as a company, we struggled. We didn't really know why we had to change our name. We were afraid something nefarious was going on.
Oh, wow, of course.
But that didn't play out that way. We were afraid our competitors were going to start saying, hey, they were going bankrupt, or they have a lawsuit and they have to change their name. So we got ahead of the curve. The license holder sent a very nice letter explaining why we needed to go through a name change. He gave us 1.5 years as a transition period, and we had about 5 company meetings to come up with a new name. We struggled with it, and Keith, my son, went to play golf with a guy that used to be the marketing guy for Lee Iacocca in Detroit, and just like that he says, change the R in Mr. to a Y and make it My Shower Door. It's more personalized, much better than the Mr., which is very sexist. And we changed it to My and never looked back.
Yeah, that's amazing. Marketing guys, good marketing people there.
Oh,
it's hard to find, but
it's all about
makes
marketing.
a whole difference.
This is marketing, right?
Exactly.
Putting yourself in the public eye in a positive point of view.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, marketing is big. So yeah, fascinating story. You sent me a video recently where you were. It was in Massachusetts.
Yeah,
right?
so I was a native of Massachusetts. Do you want to tee it up?
Huh?
You want to tee it up, or you want me to tell the story? What would you like?
Go ahead and tell the story.
So I grew up in Massachusetts, and I was a lifelong sports fan. My mother worked at Spalding's Worldwide. She was a chemist. She actually invented the hardcover golf ball, which many people don't realize what it was. But as a chemist, she developed the covers so that when you hit it bad, you didn't put a cut in it.
Yeah.
The younger golfers don't even know that, but the original golf balls, if you made a bad hit, it would put a slice or a cut in the cover. So her boss put her on a mission to develop a hard cover, which she did. And back then it was a Eagle golf ball, then that became the Crow Flight. The Crow Flight became a Top Flight, and the best of all the Top Flights was a Molitor. That was my mom's boss, Bob Molitor, in Spalding's in Chicopee, Massachusetts. But being a son of an employee of Spalding's, she had access to all of the sports equipment that they manufactured. Baseball, tennis ball, soccer, basketball. Spalding was the worldwide leader. So for Christmas, I would get a gross of baseballs, 12 dozen brand new baseballs still in a box. So I grew up with a ball in my hand. I was a very good baseball player. coming up through 12 years old. Then I had a serious appendicitis occur and laid me up, and I never went back to baseball, and I picked up ice hockey.
No way.
But I've always had a love for baseball.
A little bit of a different sport.
Totally different sport, but I was in Massachusetts, and it was good in the winter.
Yep.
And I loved it, and I became very good at that. But I've always had the love for baseball, and of course, if you're in Massachusetts, the law is you're a Red Sox fan.
Obviously,
so I've had a continuation of the affiliation with the Red Sox, because their spring training is located right here in Fort Myers, as is the Minnesota Twins. So we've made a connection with the Red Sox, and I do advertising with them. And this year, an advertising spot on the Green Monster, which is world famous, iconic left field wall in Fenway Park. Well, they have the identical one here at JetBlue Park in Fort Myers. So it mimics Fenway Park. So the players that play here will get used to what it's like at Fenway Park. Well, one of the advertising spots at JetBlue became available, and I told them, if it ever happened, let me know. It happened this year. So they called me, and obviously it costs more to be on the Green Monster because of the exposure. But we decided to go along with it, and I said to them, hey, one thing, if I sign this deal, the one thing I ask is you get me to throw out the first pitch at Fenway Park for one game this year. And they agreed. I mean, I put it out there, I didn't think it would ever happen. They sent me an email with 7 games to choose from. We chose to get into June as the weather generally gets better in New England. June 2nd, I threw out the first pitch with the Red Sox against Los Angeles Angels. And the last thing I wanted to do was go there with 37,000 fans and get booed by throwing a bad pitch. So I practiced and I practiced. Fortunately, threw a perfect strike.
It was a perfect one. Yeah.
Perfect strike. Got the cheers from everybody. Continually during the night as we were watching the game, people would come by, patch on the back, good pitch. But the catcher came to me and she said, you were the first one to throw a strike this year. from the mound. I went all the way back to the rubber. There's a lot of people that stand in front of the mound and just do a little toss, because it's ceremonial only. But if I was going to do it, I wanted the full experience.
Exactly.
So I stood where all the great pitchers from the Red Sox stood from. So I was very, very happy about that.
Yeah.
That was a bucket list item for me.
Yeah, I bet it was. Yeah, I love the video when you sent it to me. I'm like, wow, that's amazing.
That was great. It was great. They put it up on the big screen. He said, Fenway Park welcomes Donna and Bill Daubmann from My Shower Door, our Florida affiliates.
That's awesome.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. Well, you're really making it the American dream. Right?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, well,
only in this country.
And it's funny, Southwest Florida is a hotbed for pro athletes to retire and come down to. I have met so many high-profile athletes and business people that either have a second home here or this is their full-time retirement resident. And it has opened up a circle of influence to us, because generally the customers that buy the high-end shower doors have made some money in their life and have a nice home, and they want good products, and that's what we cater to.
Yep.
And that's why having the manufacturing to be able to control quality and give them that defect-free final product is so important. But that's where our growth comes from. Our growth comes from word of mouth, not so much advertising, but the word of mouth. These people...
That's the best one, right? That's the best
Without
marketing.
doubt. They go out to eat with their friends, and they say, hey, did you ever have a shower door done? Oh, let me tell you, my shower door, the only place to go. You're dealing with the owners. They make the glass. If there's a problem, they stand by it. It makes a world of difference. Now, conversely, if I was only doing work for builders, if you're a builder and I go out to eat with you, you're not going to give up the name of your best sub, because you want your sub on call when you need them. You don't want your next guy to have them. And that steps you apart from your competition. So you don't grow your business just on builders. You do on homeowners. They spread the word for you.
Yeah, that's genius.
So it works really good.
And also, like how you have the training program here of how to install the door, right? You have a whole kind of almost like a real life example of how it's going to be in the field.
Yes.
Like it's pretty realistic.
And there's a great story there too. And this is the benefit of manufacturing. So when we started the manufacturing, we were very low budget. I was doing deliveries. They were loading it, putting it on the truck. I was driving the truck. The benefit to that is I got to see all my competitors that were buying glass from us. And believe it or not, because there was no other manufacturing in Southwest Florida at the time, it was more convenient for them to buy from us even though we were their competitor. Because they looked at it like they already sold the job. My shower door's out of the picture. Where do I want to get my glass from? Well, why not the guy down the street that I could get it pretty quick?
Exactly.
Because they were in the same boat I was in 5 years ago, having to buy from Alabama or Tampa or somewhere else.
So you understand the pains, then you get the experience, and you benchmark.
Yes. So I'm doing a delivery, and I'm seeing that most of them are mom and pop shops. They do a good job in the field, but the problem was they didn't really have a process set up, which you learn in manufacturing. You have to have a process, you refine it, then you scale it. Well, we were ahead of the curve. So I'm doing deliveries and I'm learning what our competitors are doing, and I saw what their deficiencies were. Biggest deficiency is they're hiring new help and they're putting them right in the field and they're basically learning on the job.
That's great. A great way, right?
So they could have the best product in the world, but if they're not installing it, it's a mess. You can buy a Mercedes, but if you go to a repair guy that screws up your car, I don't care how much you pay for that car, it's not going to run right.
Exactly.
So it's the same thing. So I figure we're going to train in-house, not in your house. And that's been our slogan. We train in-house. So we have what we call My Shower Door University. Every new employee goes through that. And they learn everything from handling the glass, what drill bits to use to drill in what substrate. Are they drilling in quartz, porcelain, you name it, any kind of tile.
And they have to show competency until they're allowed to actually go on the field and install it.
And they're still not allowed to go alone. They always work as a team, and they're going to work with an upper level guy first.
So they have like a two-part training.
Yes, it's an apprentice. But we want to make sure they have the capability, the learning, written assessments. We want them to check their math skills. So if somebody gives them a piece of metal and say, go take an eighth off, I want to make sure they know what an eighth is. Or if it was 7 1/8 and they say take off 7/16, they can figure it out and know what to cut it at.
And it's funny because nowadays it's even not that easy to find even sometimes people out of a technical school, unfortunately, or definitely before technical schools, that know how to measure, use a tape measure. We did some surveys. Actually, we did one here. Remember a couple of years ago with Future Makers?
Exactly right.
And one of the biggest complaints was tape measuring skills.
Which is, Europe has been way ahead of the curve by using metric. Because it's a no-brainer. I mean, metric is beautiful, and why the U.S. has not converted everything to metric is beyond me. Why people have to struggle with fractions of different denominators. But that's the world we live in.
I couldn't figure this one out as well when I moved here.
Metric it's a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. But obviously in manufacturing we use a lot of metrics. I mean, our machines are made in Europe.
You have to.
Almost every machine is Italian made, except for maybe the washer machine, and we have a clean room and an autoclave. Those are made in the U.S.
Yeah, you have some serious automation when I was going on a tour a few times, but I was always impressed with the equipment and the technology and the investments you really make in making sure it's automated. And a big thing is safety, right? Making sure it's safe for your guys to handle glass. Because, I mean,
when we started, we were on a low budget, and safety was not at the top of the issue. We were dodging bullets every day, making sure no one got hurt. But when we were able to afford money, we got the cranes, the specific jib cranes at every operating location, and it saved on back call-outs. Oh, I hurt my back, I strained my back. Easily can happen when you're handling one piece of glass 4 times, because it has to go through the polisher 4 times as you rotate it to each edge. And it was a lot of manual labor, and we were burning through people. So the investment into the machinery reduced injuries and reduced in the burnout of people.
Of course, and it probably also promotes a good culture, you know, and people want to stay here. Not keep looking for a different job.
And it opened up the workforce.
People here.
We could hire male, female, big and strong, small and not so strong.
You don't need just guys that are going to the gym every day. Right?
Where traditionally, you know, you go back 20 years, if you saw a guy that was in the glass industry, I mean, he was buff,
Some
especially up in the
arms,
shoulders and in the arms, because they're lifting glass all day long.
Yep.
Now that's not the case. I could simply put somebody like yourself, you're not overly big, nor are you overly small, right on a machine, and you can handle the largest piece of glass using the crane.
Yep. Yeah, you don't need to lift really anything.
No.
Yep.
No. And there's a lot of technique involved, like everything else. You know, what you do when you bend over, you're using your legs, not using your back.
Exactly.
So we go through training on that as well. However, we do have first aid stations throughout. We have an air horn system. So if somebody does get injured, the whole shop will know, shut their machines down and come to their rescue if necessary. We've got the factory broken up into sections, and the air horn goes by section. So if somebody in section 1's hurt, it's a loud horn, and we go on like that.
That's
and
awesome.
we do what we call fire drills on a weekly basis.
On a weekly basis?
On a weekly
Really?
basis.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not an overkill?
It's much better to spend a few minutes doing that than to have to say, why didn't that happen?
Yeah, that's true. That's like
it could be overkill.
second nature now.
Like anything else, you're going to be proficient at it. It's train, train, train.
Yep.
So we want to get it where it's second nature.
Exactly. And
I don't want 3 air horns going off and the guy's running around. Where's section 3? That defeats the purpose.
That happens all the time.
Yeah.
That happens all the time when you have a fire drill once a quarter.
Yeah. So yeah, we do these things, and we've learned. I mean, it didn't come right out of the can when we first started manufacturing. We had it all figured out. No, we've had our share of incidents, and we said, how do we make it better?
And I'm sure you're still figuring out stuff. I mean, you're
Always.
always figuring out stuff. It's the cycle of continuous improvement in a way, right?
Yes.
It's critical for a successful business to continue thrive and flourish. You know?
Yes. And what's nice is we have open communication with the guys on the job floor. What can we do to make it better? What safety things can we institute? So we instituted that whole canteen area because they needed a lot of cold water. We have water stations out there. As you can tell, it can get warm in here in the summertime.
Yep.
And the higher we are, the warmer it is, the hotter it rises.
You're sitting in the sauna right now.
But we brought in cold water and refreshments for the guys. My wife takes this little cart around as a treat every so often with ice cream. She rolls around, rings this little bell, and the guys just swarm to
That's
it.
That's amazing.
Fridays, we either get them pizza or we do a cookout. On Fridays, we run 2 shifts here.
You have a barber too, right?
We have a barber that comes in and gives haircuts.
Yeah,
so we try to make it. We now have somebody that'll come in and do car detailing, so they can have their car washed and detailed on
I need
shop.
my car detailed. I should come here.
Yep, got to schedule it. So we try and do added value. You know, 3-4 years ago it was very difficult to get help, and we had to think out of the box. How can we get people to come here? I've got an Amazon warehouse 2 buildings down.
Next door, yeah.
And when they opened and they paid 25 cents an hour more, some of these people were flocking there. And then when they realized that job wasn't all that they thought it was going to be, they came back. And when they came back, they could see the improvements that we made to make their life better, which makes our company better.
Yeah. I mean, a culture is critical. It's such a big thing that I think companies starting to realize how important it is.
Oh, it's everything.
That's how you keep people, right?
And you know what turnover costs you.
Oh, yeah.
By the time you get them pre-boarded, then boarded, and then training, and you know if you're training something,
thank you.
You're not working at your capacity because you're spending time training somebody. So if I can stop that turnover, the guy that's at the upper level can work to his capacity.
Yeah, it's all those hidden costs that's actually significant for any business.
Sure.
And if you're smart about it, you realize the hidden costs. Right?
And believe me, I didn't learn that right away.
Exactly.
We went through a lot of people, and many of them were good people. And when you're an owner, you take ownership in that. You say it's not their fault, it's my fault. What did I not do to want them to stay here?
Absolutely, and that's really what's distinguishing the top businesses from the guys kind of doing okay, but could do better. It's realizing that any mistakes, any issues that are happening down there on the shop floor, most likely, I would even say 99% of the time, it's actually not an issue of the person, the operator. It's the system issue. Something we didn't do right. We didn't help them to succeed. We didn't have the visual signals for them to succeed. We didn't have something for them to make the right decision and not make the mistake. Because people don't come here, oh, how I'm going to screw up the day, right? They're not coming here to thinking about that.
Nobody does.
But nobody does.
And we're all human.
Exactly.
And we all have our certain set of skills.
To err is human, right? That's
right.
Taiichi Ono said it.
Yeah.
Toyota Production System.
And it'll never stop.
Yeah.
It'll always be that way. And what I like about our general manager, he's like a coach of a good team.
Yeah.
He knows the strengths and the weaknesses of his players, and he can move them around into the positions
and that's key.
that suit their
That's
skills.
Key. Yep.
We want to keep them. We don't want to let them go. We want to coach them to get better, but maybe that particular operation they're on is not suited for their skills.
So it's the right person, but it's the wrong seat for that person.
Yeah, that's right.
You got to find the right seat.
You read that book
too.
too.
On the bus. Traction. Yes, absolutely. EOS.
Yeah.
We actually have an implementer, EOS implementer in our network, SRMA network.
Yes.
You met him, Frank Saragosi.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Frank is very good.
Yeah.
Very good. One of the other things that I think all manufacturers, actually all business owners can learn from is no matter what business you go to, be observant. I go to a restaurant and I'll see how their chef line, basically they're manufacturers, starting with an empty plate and it's ending in a finished product, and everybody does their steps in between. How is that workflow? Are they a mess? Are they running around with chickens with their heads cut off?
So good.
But on a busy restaurant, it's clockwork.
Yep.
They're doing it the same way.
Look at Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
Right? They're freaking quick. They got it to the second or millisecond.
Of all businesses during
time.
COVID, that one thrived better than any business that I saw during COVID. They were quick to respond, to get the drive-through out there.
Yep.
They added drive-through lines instead of the singular one. They had people out there taking orders on iPads.
Yep.
They had 3 lanes, and by the time you came around, your food was ready.
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
Their tack time was unbelievable. I mean, it is unbelievable. And they're closing on Sundays.
Yes.
And they're still the most successful fast food franchise.
Yes.
Explain that to me, right?
But
they're losing, like,
have,
what is it, 50% of their potential just closing one day.
So that's why the business sense that I learned from them, if they rose their prices 50 cents on every item, they would still have that line.
Yep.
So you can talk about costs and tariffs and price going up. People want quality. They want to know that it's consistency. They're going to get it the same way every single time. And that's what's made my shower door successful, because we have D3, we have consistency in glass and quality. Our people will pay more.
And delivery, right?
And delivery, on-time delivery. Time is, a lot of Naples customers, it's not so much how much, it's how soon.
How quick. And
how soon can you get it done? They're busy people. They're business owners. They'll pay more. Get it done. I don't want any problems. Get out of my hair.
Yep. Don't deliver it too early. Don't even late. Deliver it on time.
When you said you're going to be there.
Do it, right?
We set up a schedule. Be there. That's a struggle that a lot of small businesses have when they don't have the manpower. Somebody calls out sick. Their daughter's sick.
Yep.
Their daughter got called into school. Oh, I can't make it. Small businesses, and I know this because I was there. Sorry, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, can't make it today. We had an emergency. You can only do that so much, and then the message gets out there. That word of mouth that helped you build will also take you down real quick.
And the actual problem here, that word of mouth that helped you build you for so long, you were building, growing, it can destroy you like that.
Like a heartbeat. And that's what's scary about today with people as we call them keyboard pirates, right?
Yes.
One little thing that doesn't even affect that job, and they give you a negative review.
Yeah. Are you reading reviews? I bet you do, right?
Reviews are important. Now, we pride ourselves. We have a lot of 5-star. I think we hit 4,600. 4,600 5-star Google reviews.
Wow.
Now, we've got 3, maybe 4 1-star reviews. But if you read them, you take away from it. First of all, this is a company that I can deal with because we respond to them. And I don't respond negatively.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you experienced that. We are going to make it better. I don't even make excuses. 99% of the time, it doesn't even apply to the situation. One is a customer gave us a 1-star review because we didn't want to take on a job that somebody else already started and completed using different hardware.
Yep.
It's like taking your Toyota to a Mercedes dealership. Guy says, I'm sorry, I can't deal with it. They think we're a shower door company. We should be able to do all shower doors. And that's not the case. We've built our brand on making our own doors with our own hardware and our own glass. We got a 1-star review for that. But I think that when people check reviews, they look at the negatives. They want to see, how did that company respond? Did they call a customer a jerk? Or were they professional about it? Did they apologize? When you go to a restaurant and you get a bad meal, what do you expect to happen? You expect to tell your server, you expect your server to go tell management, and then you expect management to come to your table.
Exactly, yep.
Right? Now, they have a choice there. Can you make it better, or are you only going to antagonize me to never come back?
Yeah.
You got 2 choices. I had that situation yesterday, and customer was not happy with something. Again, it was out of our control.
Yep.
It was a cleaning person involved, but I let it go through its process. The installation manager called the customer back, gave me the note, and as the owner, I called them with my cell phone number and gave them my number. I said, whatever happened, we're not a finger-pointing company.
Yeah.
If we are, we're pointing a finger at ourselves. Let us make it right for you. I want you to be our best salesman. Is that a deal? And I turned what could have been very bad into something exceptionally good, and we sold another door to that customer.
And most of the times you could do that. You have the power to do it. So it's how you react to it and what do you do with that.
All business owners have that power.
Yep.
All business owners have that power.
Absolutely.
They don't use it enough.
Yep. So you mentioned about the kind of benchmarking, and almost you can any situation you are in, even if you go to a restaurant or Chick-fil-A for that matter, you can actually learn something about your processes and how can you improve, what you can do different. So that brings me to one thing I didn't mention. Obviously, D3 Glass is also a member of SRMA,
yes,
our manufacturing association, and obviously one of the things that a lot of our clients mention, that one of the really good things I love about SRMA is the plant tours,
yes,
where you can go and learn something new, right? How are these guys doing it? Maybe it's a completely different product, not related industry, but like you said it yourself, you can learn something. So how about we segue to SRMA, and what do you think about the membership? What can you say about SRMA that you think are the kind of the good things that make a difference, and what do you see from SRMA in the future?
Many good things. On a local level, the plant tours are amazing. We can look at what we call the standard in the industry, Arthrex, medical device manufacturers. It's a phenomenal place. Over the top good.
Yeah.
One of the top businesses in the world, I would go out there to say.
They are big.
Right?
They are very big.
Not only size-wise, cleanliness, process.
Oh yeah.
Patents on the wall. I mean, hundreds of patents. So innovative, right? That's how we built it, being innovative.
They even have a hotel complex, right?
Yes,
a huge
which is gorgeous. Yeah. State-of-the-art studio for doing videos and bringing in doctors for seminars. But then Pelican Wire. Again, wire manufacturer, different than us, process the same. You have order entry, you have optimization, you have inventory controls, you have all of your manufacturing processes generally marked, labeled, training. All those things are so important. I picked up color coding on one of the plant tours that I said we need to institute.
Visual management. Right?
Absolutely, visual management, that's perfect. Culture building. I think the amount of times that we've given tours here at D3, and you brought the SRMA through, but I brought through the Career and Technical Education Department of the Lee County School District, FGCU School of Entrepreneurship, to see the culture on the floor where you get the best out of your employees. These employees would run through a firing building, a building that's on fire for us, the way we treat them. So when I go out there, even this morning as we did our pre-walk, you saw the guys come over to shake my hand, I say hello, and I try and get to know them on a first name basis. Get to know about their family. What'd you do last night? Hey, your football team's playing this weekend. Good luck. That makes the guys want to stay here. It's so important. So important. So you can learn that, and that's, I think, a lot of the things that we give out on our tour is that other manufacturers come here, see that, and they go back to their own business and say, okay, we need to be like D3. We want the employees here. Maybe we're going to get a barber to come in once a week. Maybe we're going to bring a catering service in and give them some
Well,
some
it's
lunch.
really open up your mind for a minute, like, what else can you do, right?
Yes, yes. I mean, I can give you a pay raise, and that's going to feel good for
a little bit,
3-4 weeks.
Has anyone more?
And now you got to wait 48 weeks maybe until the next bump. But do you have incentives in line? Quality control incentives, less amount of callbacks or rejects. So you can build these. And I have to build those constantly for our management team. I have to give management team goals, and then they have to give the work floor team their goals. Number of panels done a day. Reduce the number of rejects.
The KPIs, right? The key performance indicators. Yep.
Absolutely. And it's all about documentation, right? 5 years ago, I didn't have the software available to get me a WIP number on a moment's notice. How much product, works in progress, is out on the floor at a moment's notice. If a customer called up and say, hey, my order, I know I need it on Friday, can you get it done by Wednesday? Well, now we have the ability to know what station it's at and if we can rush it through for them.
Yeah, I saw that. You're scanning it all throughout the process, right? So,
yes, and every machine now has a very big screen there. No more paperwork.
Yep.
We used to have paperwork to trail every piece through the factory. Well, when the windstorms came up in rainy season, that paper ended up across the way. And, oh my God, where is it? What job is this for?
Yeah.
So the reduction of that, but now it's barcoding, and it checks it off every step of the way.
And what's the next steps you see yourself, or D3 glass taking to
well, new products. So we've got the tempered glass down good, and annealed glass, which is untempered, that you can use for tabletops and certain applications where tempering is not a code requirement. But now we're looking into, and we have the machinery to make ballistic glass or intrusion-resistant glass, which is what the school departments call it. School departments, public buildings, so we can be suppliers to that. And we're also working on our certification for electrified glass, where we're putting in electric film between two panels of glass, and at a flip of a switch, it'll go obscure where you can't see through it. And then with that switch again, it goes back to clear.
Oh,
so that's a privacy issue used in hospitals, doctors' offices, but also car dealerships, real estate agencies. You go into a conference room and you want privacy, you flip the switch. You don't have to deal with shades or a lot of things like that. So we're getting our certification for that.
That's awesome.
So always step the bar. The more certifications we have, the more SKUs we have, the more potential for growth for the guys on the floor.
Got it.
And the more potential for growth.
And you're thinking to open a different another location or expand here? If I don't know. Yeah, I guess you could. You have some.
We've got availability to expand, but we just opened a warehouse in Charlotte, North Carolina, as a distribution point, and we also put one piece of machinery up there.
Yep.
And as we get more, as we get new machines here, instead of just selling that to somebody else, we'll use that in Charlotte.
Yep.
And we'll keep adding it. The warehouse is big enough so that we can do on-site manufacturing in Charlotte, which would stop us having to ship glass up there on our trucks.
Yep.
It'll take that off the table, but it'll also be distribution for us in Charlotte, so we can go to Tennessee, Raleigh, North Carolina, down into Charleston, South Carolina, and probably even to Georgia.
So right now your presence is mostly in the south, I guess? South,
yeah, so we have
east?
10 My Shower Door stores in Florida, starting at Boca Raton on the East Coast, Orlando, then we got Tampa, St. Pete, Sarasota, Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Naples North and Naples South. We also started at architectural glass. So we're doing wine closets and we're doing stair railing systems.
Oh, wow.
And all this manufacturing is done here at D3.
Awesome.
So we keep trying to grow our base, keeping with the high-end stuff. We're not chunking out a lot of 1/4 inch, or we're not doing mirrors, even though that falls under the glass and glazing tradition. We stay with the upper echelon of what brings the most value.
Got it. You know, one thing I didn't really touch base on, I kind of was thinking about it, I wanted to mention it, as you were talking about your story, how you moved to Florida.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a little, the Florida landscape, you know, manufacturing in general, and overall the industry in Florida, and how we have now almost serious immigration to Florida, right? From all over the country and the world. But what made you decide to come to Florida, and then how do you see Florida business is changing since you first started here in the early 2000s till now. Obviously, it's exponential.
Especially where we are in Fort Myers, Bonita Springs, Naples. It's a huge difference. That was just a farming town.
Yeah.
The growth here has been exponential. Lee County leads the way in the state of Florida. Now it's going to be moving. Orlando County, Polk County, Lake County is going to be growing over the next few years.
Yeah, we have some efforts to move more kind of industry to also the spine of the state.
Yes.
What we call like all the smaller rural areas. There is definitely a push. So
what
I
would like to see, and I'm going to be a strong proponent for this, I don't know if it'll ever happen, I would like to see our state capital move from Tallahassee to the central part of Florida. Because if I had political issues to deal with, that trip to Tallahassee it's not fun. Driving, it's a long drive to be in the same state. It's isolated in a corner of the state. I would like to see it centralized that everybody can get to it easily. And that way, if you wanted to go for seminars or whatever, you can bring your family, you have your theme parks, you have a lot of restaurants, many hotels set up. The other thing is why we decided on Florida. Couple of reasons. You may not know this, you may know it. I was a professional ice hockey referee for 10 years.
Told me you were in ice hockey playing. I didn't know you were a referee.
Yeah, I went from player to officiating, and I got to know quite a few of the players in the NHL that started in the American League and worked up. And my best friend had a house here in Bonita. He was playing for the Florida Panthers. And he said, Bill, if you're considering moving to Florida from Massachusetts, check out Southwest Florida, Bonita Springs, Naples, Estero, seems to be the pulse of it. So we came down and we fell in love with it. Fell in love with it.
Go Panthers, by the way. We got
go Panthers and Lightning before that. I mean, Florida's been
we are killing it,
amazing. So where I see this, I know that nationally the U.S. government is putting a big push on manufacturing. That's why the tariffs were put in place, to try and entice people to have things made in the United States. To piggyback
we let it go, right? We let manufacturing leave U.S.
We did.
30 years, 40 years, 20 years ago.
Labor costs, number one. Even though the shipping costs were more, labor costs.
But then how it was destroying our towns, our economy, everything.
Totally.
Right?
But the average person that's ordering off of Shine or Temu or Amazon, they don't care where that product is made. They're looking at a price. And I can't tell you how many times early on, before I understood this, I ordered things from those sites and they came in and they were junk.
Yeah.
They were junk.
It is. Yep.
Pay cheap price, get cheap stuff.
Exactly.
It's that simple.
Yep.
So we said if we're going to build our business for sustainability, we stay with quality. Be a manufacturer that people recognize, build your brand. Florida, it turned out, I'd like to say I was a genius moving here. It was a stroke of luck that we were here and we made do, and the timing was right, that Florida was going through this exponential growth and there was no manufacturing here. It didn't make sense. Even Arthrex, he gets pressured to move out. And he said, why? Let's build in paradise. Exactly. If people want our product, we can ship our product. We are a little different. He can ship via UPS and FedEx. Glass can't be shipped that way. It's got to be trucked. So it is more expensive. So that's why we want to set up a hub. We'll make it here, put it on our truck, go to Carolinas, and then do distribution from there. So to piggyback on our federal government with the tariffs and making things, Governor DeSantis has got a big push now for manufacturing in the state of Florida. Obviously, that's his job, to be rah-rah Florida.
Yep.
So I'm working closely not only with the SRMA and Rob, but our local legislators to say, hey, where can the state give us manufacturers a break? Let's help catapult us to be strong.
Yep.
How can you do that? Well, if you look around and you look at the amount of money we've invested in heavy machinery, they take a lot of electricity.
Yep.
Because they take a lot of electricity, FP&L has what they call a demand charge. And they also have a time of use charge. So they want us to run the machines when their demand is low, and then we will get a lower rate.
And what is it? They're early in the morning, right?
Earlier. These guys have to come in at 4 a.m. to start the tempering and be done by 8 a.m. Be done. And if not, we have to wait till 4 in the morning. And I'm saying, well, that doesn't make us efficient. Let us not have to pay that demand. I don't want free electricity. Well, I love free electricity,
It'll be
but
nice.
that's not what I'm asking for. But get rid of that demand charge. Let the manufacturers run normal hours so that the families that work here can have normal family hours.
Yep.
So we run 2 shifts. They go from 4 in the morning to noontime, then noontime to 8 p.m. So we can only start tempering again after 8 p.m. You know, and it depends on the time of year. So now in the air conditioning time, their peak is daytime. That's when they're running it, right? But in the winter, it's the opposite. It's heating times.
Yeah.
So get rid of that demand charge and let us run normal hours. There's not that many manufacturers in Florida, and they can achieve it by either a tax break, so the government's paying FP&L and not us, or negotiating with FP&L as FP&L comes to them with rate hike changes, say, yes, except on manufacturers that use X amount of kilowatts a month. You know, what's truly a manufacturer?
So did you talk to the legislators at all? And
yes,
what's
I've
the
talked
feedback?
to 3 so far.
What was
They're
the
all in agreement. Now they got to get it
approved, and that's the problem, right?
On the next agenda. They've already stopped for the year.
And it's a freaking process.
It's a process, like everything else.
If somehow they didn't get to it this year, and now we have to wait another 12 months.
Yes,
and
then we're going through a governor race in 26. Fortunately, our Congressman Byron Donalds, who is a congressman for Collier and Lee County, I know Byron, is in the mix for governorship.
Yeah.
And he's very pro-business, and he's very pro.
I heard very good, good things about him.
And he's got a business background and a marketing background.
Yeah.
He's a smart individual. He knows what makes business tick.
I really like DeSantis, but he is
we all love
last
DeSantis.
year, right? I mean,
we all love DeSantis.
Last year, unfortunately.
Possibly a political mistake, throwing his hat in the ring against President Trump. However, I understand it because they were giving so much legal issues to President Trump. It was, for the longest time, you didn't know if he was going to be able to be president or even run for president.
I'm not sure if it's a mistake or not. We'll see, because I think he still has a bright future ahead of him. He's a young guy.
He's young.
Yeah.
And he's a nationally known name.
Yeah.
Because the stance he took with COVID is, you know,
the response time to hurricanes. Wow, he's like
proactive there too.
Wow.
I mean, I remember my son Doug and I are both pilots, and we had a plane and we were evacuating for one of the hurricanes, and we stopped for refueling, and you would never see more power trucks in your life that were staged in northern Florida ready to come down.
Yeah, it's amazing.
They were unbelievable, as well as military.
Mm-hmm.
It was incredible.
Yep.
So yeah, high kudos to Governor DeSantis, and even before that, Governor Scott. He was very pro-business. He came to us 3 times to visit here because he knows how important manufacturing and small business is to the economy. I mean, we are the engine over.
And he's still very involved in Florida.
Very.
Yeah.
Very. We're very fortunate in Florida. We really are.
We have a whole bunch of great people here. Seems like great people know Florida is a place to be.
It is. And it's not just for dead people. They say it's where old people go to die.
Not anymore. We have a lot of young people moving to Florida, a lot of manufacturers moving or deciding to establish their business in Florida. We are growing. We're becoming a powerhouse in manufacturing. Funny thing is, still a lot of people don't realize that. And one of the main things we really need to focus on and push is to get the young people involved in manufacturing.
Yes.
Let them know about manufacturing. Tell them what a great story is of a manufacturer just living in their neighborhood, and they have no idea. They're going to middle school, high school over there. They don't know what opportunities they could have in manufacturing because they don't even know about what manufacturing is. They just know, like you said, they go to Amazon or whatever, they order it, it comes in, they don't even think how things made. So
that's another reason for these cranes. You know, a lot of these kids come in right out of high school or technical school, know how to run a CNC. They're good at computers. They're good at computing. We have a lot of CNC controlled equipment here. Mm-hmm. But, you know, you think of manufacturing, there's a wide span of job opportunities from order entry, customer service, logistics, getting trucks on the road, having mechanics, maintenance guys, inventory control, watching your workflow and your turn ratio, collections, There's a lot in manufacturing, not just working on a machine.
Exactly.
There's a
Absolutely.
lot of manufacturing.
If you're a kid listening to that, you should really consider researching about manufacturing and see the opportunities you can have by having a career in manufacturing.
And I would highly suggest working for a family-owned business that can treat you like a family, because I've noticed during the years, as these young guys get married and have families, they need time off. They want to go to a graduation, a dance recital, a baseball game, something. Not that they go every day, but it's nice to have that flexibility. When you have a big company, you have a big set of rules, and they're very often inflexible. Family-run businesses have that flexibility. And I would say, look for them, bring something to the table to help them grow their business. Understand that, hey, I was a family business and I never liked people, or I always looked at when people tried to give me a suggestion, I took it as a shot, like I wasn't doing it right. I take it different now. It opens up my eyes that, you know what, I don't know everything. You can teach me a lot, show me.
Yep.
Let me see if I've already done it that way and failed, or we can try it and see if it's going to work.
Absolutely.
And you're in a big company, you don't always get those opportunities to do that. But with a family business, you
that's
can.
true.
You can make a huge difference.
Yep. So you mentioned family business, and you have obviously a couple of sons. You mentioned that helped grow the business, figure out how to produce glass, right? So I guess that's the next generation that
Next
you're already
generation.
preparing.
I've got 4 grandkids. One will be a senior in high school next year.
Okay.
The next 2 are juniors.
Are they working here?
They were working with my son Keith on social media for the summer.
Yep.
That young generation, they're on TikTok, they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram. So they're creating social media posts.
Great.
But they're learning the business, getting a feel of customer interaction, and the very important soft skills. Even if you're in manufacturing, you have to talk to your suppliers with empathy.
Exactly.
Understand their point of view. What do they need? And you have to be flexible. And that's one thing I learned very quick being a hockey referee. You're going in to break up a fight of 2 very strong guys that are highly aggressive, and you have to be able to calm that down quickly without getting yourself killed.
Yep. It's so true when you said you got to work with your suppliers and understand them, because many times I work with companies, and especially the supply chain guys, the purchasing guys, they're like, these guys, they're always late. My suppliers are always late, they're not reliable. And then I'm asking them, have you ever asked this question yourself or your team? How can we help our suppliers to help us? Or are we the reason why they're so unreliable?
That's perfect.
Right?
That is perfect. And that's exactly what has to happen. And the same thing in evaluating your employees. We talked about having the right employee on the right seat on the bus, right?
Yep.
How do we transition them to the next seat on the bus without hurting their feelings? See, it's much better to say, I've noticed you've got a skill that's going to be much better over there, than to say to them, you're failing at this, let's try you over there.
Here, yeah.
You're achieving the same thing at the end of the day, but how's one accepted?
Exactly.
This guy's going to go over there feeling like a rock star.
Yep.
As opposed to feeling like somebody just kicked him to the curb.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's so true.
many important life lessons that you learn that are so important. When you walk around, you see the excitement in the guys here. The other thing, and I know you did this as you did a tour here, we're up for the Manufacturer of the Year from the Horizon Foundation. And smartly...
That's part of the SRMA, the process itself. That's SRMA, and that's a benefit of SRMA.
Yes, and SRMA very wisely got involved in that selection process, because in years past, it was simply fill out an application.
What's your writing skills?
Yes, what were your writing skills, or what AI did you use
exactly,
to get
nowadays,
you there, right? But now they had a team of 5 come and do a physical evaluation of the place, of people that have been in the industry. And if you're not selected, they're going to give you feedback of what you could do to get better.
Whether you're selected or not, you're going to get the assessment. Yeah.
That's the powerful part right there.
Because even if you're the best of the best, there's still opportunities. There's always opportunities, right?
We applied for the Sterling Awards 3 years ago, and we were a finalist.
Yeah.
We didn't win. But the process that we went through, I learned a lot. A lot. And I was thankful for it. You can say, oh, you're a loser because you didn't win. No, I ended up being a winner because I learned a lot.
Yeah, that's what we always tell the manufacturers. No matter if you think you're ready or not, And actually, if you think you're not ready, you're ready to do it. You're ready to apply because you're gonna get invaluable feedback, and then you can use that. Okay, it's like a blueprint. I need to do those things to get me to the next level, and maybe next year or the year after that, become manufacturer of the year.
Absolutely. The other good part of SRMA is the other businesses and strategic partners that you have. Yes, you have bankers. What association doesn't?
Exactly.
You have insurance people. What association doesn't? But these people are fine-tuned to manufacturing. Maybe you need a short-term loan for a machine. Maybe you need an inventory loan, a line of credit. These guys understand manufacturing more than just going to your local branch and asking the branch manager for a loan.
Exactly.
Totally different parameters, totally different people. These bankers will come to you. But it's not just that. I just worked with another manufacturer, and we're trying to put a logistics package together. If I'm running product up to Charlotte for there, maybe he needs packages to go to Georgia on the way. And it'll save him money and maybe offset some of my costs. And we'll work together like that. So those are other benefits.
Okay. That's you connected you through SRMA?
Through SRMA.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love to hear that. And also all the other resources we have too, the third-party providers, not just bankers or insurance companies, but we also have anything you can think of. We'll have an expert in this specific field, whether it's lean, Toyota production system, or like experts, or theory of constraints, or you need a new ERP, or you need to figure out how can you upgrade your scheduling software or whatever. We have experts in any field you can think of that are vetted. It means they had success, they work with manufacturing companies, and we can put our stamp on, SRMA stamp, that they're going to answer your questions in the specific need that you may have.
I don't know how broad of a width that this podcast gets, but what we've talked about today isn't just about pure manufacturing. It's about business sense. This should be played to schools of entrepreneurship.
Yes, I think
learning
so.
to start a business, and whether you manufacture it or sell it, many of the same principles apply. And that's very important. A very good manufacturer that has since sold his business and retired is Brian Rist from StormSmart, who now is an adjunct professor at the School of Entrepreneurship at FGCU.
Oh, wow.
I am on the advisory board of the School of Entrepreneurship, but I also are taking on the career and technical role as the senior advisor for the Lee County School District Technical and Entrepreneurship School, which is going to be held at Estero High School. And I will be rounding up other business owners from all types of businesses. A local sign company, a barber, a hairstylist, doesn't matter what they are. If they're in business and they own that business and they have an opportunity to give back to the community, it's so beneficial, not only for the students, but for us as well.
Exactly.
You learn a lot.
Yep. That's amazing what you're doing.
So these organizations, you get irritated when you have to pay your annual dues. Well, they need money to run. But the benefit that you can get if you get involved with it, it's not going to break the bank, and it's a write-off.
Exactly. Yeah.
People throw the word write-off out there. Okay, you save 30%. You know, you're taking off your taxable income, but the amount of value that you get and the connections that you can get, because don't forget, SRMA is part of Grow Florida. It's part of a bigger scale of things. So when we develop our ballistic gas,
Florida Makes,
we can go to Florida Makes and say, okay, we're ready to export it over in the Caribbean. Who's your contact there?
Anything you can think of.
Yes.
We can help you with a solution. We can provide you an expertise, whether it's from directly from SRMA or from one of our partners.
As a matter of fact, we called on SRMA because one of our water jets went down, and we had a CNC go down, and it had a spindle, and normally we would have to go to the manufacturer, which was Italian. We had to wait till 3 in the morning when they came in to call them, which was a nuisance. But the amount of downtime, whereas if you can find a similar spindle in the United States and have it here overnighted, or get in your car or your airplane and go get it, much, much better. Well, you are the resource of who can we find in SRMA or in Florida Makes or on a national level.
Or on a national level, we have exposure there too.
Who can get us that?
exactly.
That one membership just paid for itself. And you've got the whole rest of the year to benefit from the
like
tours.
that.
Just like that. And those are the hidden benefits that you don't advertise, but are there. And as a savvy entrepreneur or business owner, you have to read between the dots. What can I bring to the table to help them grow? Like I'm doing this podcast with him. And what can they bring to the table to help us grow? So it's a win-win for both of us.
Yeah, and you said it, you got to read between the dots. So we're actually trying to figure out how can we make it easier for anybody to understand what really is the benefit of being part of the network.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to translate it all kind of quickly in a brochure or a flyer or just in a couple sentences.
Sure. And some good news recently. We got a preliminary email yesterday.
Okay.
That we went through the first round of evaluation to make the Inc. 5000 list.
Wow.
Again. Now, my shower door has already made that list 8 times. D3 made that list twice, consecutively.
Nice.
Both D3 and my shower door got the email that based on their cutoff date and where we are, unless something crazy was wrong in their math, so they haven't made final announcements yet, both my shower door and D3 Glass
Congratulations.
will be on the Inc. 5000 of the fastest growing companies in the United States.
Wow.
Now when you think about, there's over 4 million companies in the United States, privately held. Now these are privately held, not publicly traded. Privately held. To be in the top 5,000, you're in less than 1%.
Yes.
So that would say I am so proud of our team.
Yep.
It's not me, I can't run those processes, but our team to continue our growth, to make
That's
it
amazing.
9 times for my shower door and 3 times for D3 Glass blows me away.
Wow.
Most companies are thrilled to make it once.
Exactly, yeah, that's amazing.
If indeed it ends up 9 times, it will be a Southwest Florida record for any business, not just manufacturing, to make that list 9 times. And currently we are the only family to have 2 businesses on the same list. And we've already done it twice and may very well do it the third time.
You must be really proud of your team, for sure.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
My family and my team.
Yep.
I call my team my family. They're extended family.
Exactly.
That's the way they're treated.
Yep.
That's the way they treat us. So that's what makes things work.
That's awesome.
I consider you family.
Yeah.
You
Thank
are
you.
an important cog to our business. And so is every one of our suppliers. I get glass domestically. They're part of that family. Without them, we're not growing. It's important.
Yeah, and I mean, it says a lot. That's the way you think. Says a lot why you're in at least 9 times. Right?
Yeah.
It's the
mindset. And I couldn't think that way early on. I was all about watching the dollars, staying solvent, being in business, trying to be super efficient. But in micromanagement, you become less efficient.
Exactly. Yep.
You have to let people, you have to empower them to do their job, manage them on a higher level to make sure things are being done right. Local floor management will make sure that they're following the process for that job. But on a high level, are the number of panels going out? Are the amount of rejects down? Is the quality standard still high? And is the customer feedback still positive?
Yeah, that's your KPIs, and then if suddenly 1 month the KPI is not there, you gotta investigate why, understand the root cause, and not just jump on the first kind of symptom that you think why. You really need to be able to have this problem-solving mindset. How can I dive deeper and understand?
And it's not throwing money at it.
Exactly.
It's not, well, we'll hire another person.
Or we buy another machine.
Or we buy another machine. Because if you don't run the first one right, you're not going to run the second one right.
That's actually going to make things even worse.
Even worse. You're going to have twice the problems.
More money.
Yeah. And I've had to learn that because I've made that mistake.
I bet you
Believe
did.
me.
Yep.
So this has been a great podcast.
Yeah,
it really is. I can't wait to see it out in the field, how it's received.
Yep.
You get it done. We'll send it out through our social media network to help it grow.
Yeah, that's the one thing I really want to kind of get more exposure. And you said another thing that I really want to do is help. I mean, our slogan is growing manufacturing in the Sunshine State. So one thing to grow manufacturing, we need, like I said again, those younger generations to know about manufacturing. So how can I send the exposure? not just to all the manufacturers, right? Not maybe not even just all the entrepreneurs, business people, but also younger generations, so they know the opportunities they have. And I want them to stay in Florida. I don't want them to get a degree, maybe not even from our university, but if not from our university, I want them to come back for sure. But many times young people, they leave and they want to leave, and because they don't know the opportunities they have here. So
who wouldn't want to come to Southwest Florida or Florida for college? You go to the beaches.
Yeah, and we have great universities. Actually, I think our universities right now are maybe the best in the country with all the kind of things that are happening. I think our university is becoming like the top of the line now. People don't know that.
And they don't cost as much as some of the prestigious ones.
Exactly. Yeah, like they're prestigious.
They're prestigious.
Not so prestigious anymore.
They carry a big price tag. Worst thing you want to do is come out of college and be in debt. You don't want to be in debt. Debt is not good for anybody. Leverage is different, but debt is not good. I've learned that also.
Depends what kind of debt,
That's right. Whose money is it? Is it your money or somebody else's money? That's not necessarily good either. You can make those other decisions on growing your business. They're easier to make when you have the right cash flow. You struggle.
Cash flow is everything.
Yes.
Really.
And what do they say? Paralysis by analysis. If you sit too long and think about it and do nothing, your competitors are getting ahead of you. Sometimes you have to act fast, and you may make a mistake, but you'll learn from it. But you'll get to the positive quicker because you've already taken one of the negatives off the table.
Exactly.
You already know, I'm not going to do it that way.
Who said it? I think it was Thomas Edison, when he kept failing, and I guess the people were working with him and said, "Oh, it's another failure." He said, "No, it's another step closer to the goal."
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
It's
the mindset. It's the total mindset. If you come in and say, "What am I going to do today?" I want everyone in that factory to say, "We are making the best shower door in the United States." We want to be known as the best in the United States. And then we want to be the best in North America. And then we want to be best in the Western Hemisphere.
In the world.
And then we want to be best in the world. And maybe best intergalactic.
Exactly, there you go. I love that. Well, it was really great to have a conversation, having you on the show. Let's market it and make it big. How about we close it up with some advice for manufacturers?
First of all, God bless you all, and I wish you all well. I couldn't be more proud to be part of this association as a manufacturer. The things I've learned. Keep in mind, we started manufacturing because we had to. We were almost forced into the position. And without this kind of guidance, I don't think we would be where we are now. We've won Manufacturer of the Year from Lee County years ago. Funny story, we held it for 2 years. We're the only manufacturer to hold that title for 2 years.
Really?
The little asterisk is it was COVID the next year. And they didn't have it. So we held it for 2 years. So in 2019 we were Manufacturer of the Year, held it during 2020. But I would look at this Manufacturer of the Year very prestigious because it's not just simply sending in an application. But the advice is work on your processes, your procedures. Talk to the operators and your team members at least once a week to get feedback. What can you as an owner do to make their job easier and better and safer? Keep those things in your mind, and you'll keep employees that you know are so hard to get and to retain. I'd say that's the biggest issue in manufacturing.
That's a great advice. Well, thank you so much, Bill.
You're welcome. So good to come here.